we launched. Thanks for that. So when PMI launched AI, so we started a webinar series on that. And right now, last year also, we had a theme around transformation. And this year, we are very specific on the AI topic. So if you see the details of speakers, we have a stellar lineup of industry leaders who will share their insights on AI's revolutionary role in project management. So all those leaders have immense experience in developing new application, implementing new systems in various top level organization. And I'm really hoping to get some good takeaway from those sessions by our speakers. And it promises to be an exciting experience for all our attendees, those who are joining us in person, and we are expecting more than 300 professionals in that conference. So these knowledge series are planned around the theme of the conference, and that will provide our members, especially those who are outside of Kerala or outside of Trivandrum or India even, with an opportunity to engage in a meaningful, discussion. And of course, you will be getting some PDUs also. So this is like a very unique chance to stay ahead of latest advancement in AI and their applications in project management. So I encourage you all to actively participate, share your feedback, and of course, please register for the main event on August 10th. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of PMI Kerala, I would like to, officially welcome and, we are extending our warm welcome to Natalia for accepting our invitation. We actually wanted to bring many speakers into our conference, but being a one-day conference, our time is limited, but hoping to connect with more such insightful leaders. Natalia is a very famous trainer. You can go through her profile. She's having profound knowledge on these areas and project management. So thank you for accepting our invitation. And friends, let's make this let's make the most out of this session and come together to elevate our profession to new heights with AI. Thank you for joining us today, and I look forward for an insightful session. Over to you, Prakash. Thank you all.
Thank you, Preston, for that introduction and reiterating the theme of WAVES 2024, Automate and Elevate Project Management with AI, and giving us a brief of what is in store as we build up to WAVES 2024. Yeah. So good evening, all of us, all PMI members and guests who have joined us in the last few minutes. Good evening to all. It is my honor to welcome the keynote speaker of the day. It's Natalia Wiedemeyer. Natalia Wiedemeyer is a project management consultant, change management practitioner, and an organizational coach. She's joining us from Dubai tonight. Talking a little bit about her professional side, she helps businesses achieve success faster and more efficiently by enhancing their strategies, elevating engagement, and creating momentum for innovation, transformation, and superior performance. Natalia works with leadership teams, project teams, functional and cross-functional teams, as well as task forces and committees to help people find the right tools and approaches to develop their processes as well as to improve their engagement, performance, and productivity in order to achieve the desired business results. Natalia is actively involved in different volunteering positions, mentoring roles, including PMI UAE. Natalia holds a master's degree in business economics from the University of Constance, Germany, in a role as business consultant, among others, with KPMG and Roland Berger. She has served clients in Europe, Middle East, and Asia. She is a certified business coach, business trainer, and project management, and has many years of leading in highly complex organizational environments. So I'll stop here and I'll hand over the stage to Ms. Natalia Wiedemeyer to talk to us about a very exciting topic, because there are two keywords which excite all of us, which is AI and sustainability in a session today. So over to you, Ms. Natalia.
Thank you very much. I'm afraid I'm having challenges with my video. I'm trying to solve it. While I'm doing so, please bear with me without the video, and I will start sharing the slides. I will have to reconnect to a different device as soon as WebEx is installed on that one. So sorry for that. I hope I will be able to share my screen.
Nathaniel, do you want us to share the screen?
I think I can share the screen.
Okay.
Got it. Got it. I think I can share the screen, but not the camera.
Okay.
So. Got it. Okay, you guys see my screen, right? So thank you very much for this kind invitation. Join as a guest. Okay, just give me a second. Because I really want that you guys see me as well. So thank you very much for this kind invitation. It is my pleasure and honor to be here tonight with you for your pre-conference knowledge series on the Waves 24 2024, joining from a different device. And I'm very happy to be here. I have to log off from this one, and hopefully you can see me on the one on. Okay, there. All right.
Susan, if you could just mute yourself.
Sorry.
Yeah, we can see you now, Natalie.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
I hope I'm back now with the camera.
Yes.
Please
Yes. Yes.
let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you and see you, and we can see your screen as well. Yeah, ready. Set to.
Hello?
Hello. Hi. We can see you and hear you, and we can see your screen as well.
Very well. Okay, great. Then we are all set.
I'm sorry. I think Natalia is facing a little bit of connectivity issues. We can give her a minute.
I hope I'm back.
Yes, you're back. You're back. Yes.
Okay.
Natalie, do you want us to share the screen? We can do that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. If you could share the screen, that might be easier.
We'll do that. Just a second.
I'm not sure why it doesn't work. Okay, how are you doing?
Yes. Cynthia, if you could go to full screen.
I think Natalia is sharing the screen.
All right. If it's okay, then I can continue share the screen.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it's fine. We can see that.
All right. Okay, good. Okay. Before we start, I would like to give a big shout out to the Women Power Up Network, where I'm the member from, and where this entire collaboration and this entire topic started to, to be so dear important to me, and where I had the pleasure and an honor to facilitate a collaborative article on AI and sustainability. Cynthia was part of the team, so that's where this connection has strengthened. Cynthia, if you would help me by sharing the link to Women Power Up Network and to the article that we have collaboratively created on the empowering sustainable futures and harnessing transformative power of AI.
Sure, we'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So today we are talking about how AI and sustainability go together, and there is a lot of conversation and a lot of talk about AI sustainability. How can AI solve sustainability? And the connection is not that easy to make. The one thing, the common denominator between artificial intelligence and sustainability is obviously that both are very complex topics, and somehow we think, okay, if one is sustainability is so complex and so multidimensional, and AI is so smart and intelligent, it should be able to solve this challenge. Actually, it potentially it could be, but it's not one-to-one translation. So obviously AI is taking all areas of human development, of human work, and sustainability is one of it. So where sustainability is really making global impact are so many different aspects, different dimensions. It, for example, it optimizes energy production. It can streamline manufacturing, enhance supply chain. Especially where we have concentrated in our article a lot is the agriculture and sustainable food production. We are living in the world of about 8 billion people, and these 8 billion people need to be fed, and food security is still, unfortunately, an issue around the world. We would have thought that with current technologies, it shouldn't be an issue anymore, but we know that it involves all the areas. So in this presentation, we will focus on what are, especially for us as project managers, what are some dimensions, examples of the projects in different regions that help to harness the magical, sometimes we think, power of AI to create more sustainable and more just and more pleasant and happy future for us to live in. Okay, so obvious aspect of where AI can enhance our experience is energy optimization, and AI is applied in so from energy, especially in energy distribution. So we see how AI is used, for example, for collection of the data and using it to distribute the information between the power grid and the end consumers along all the supply chain. It uses in the mobility sector. It's used in the mobility sector. It uses everywhere. Especially in European countries, where
sustainability has been an issue and has been a topic since many, for longer time that it has evolved in other regions. It adds to sustainable deliveries and to better adaptation of energy use. Optimized energy consumption. It increases also energy efficiencies because it can predict the energy uses and study the patterns. So AI, the power of AI is by collecting the data and generating insights from the data. So we can study how the energy is being used for like in households, in plants, especially in large plants, it can be applied. So in countries like Germany, Denmark, that rely heavily on industrial production and also are quite advanced in using sustainable technologies already in their application of industrial production. They use the power of AI to make it more effective, more efficient. In Europe, it's also very important, we have the European countries is quite regulated, and there has been developed a European EU regulation on how to ethically use artificial intelligence and how to make this use more just. So, for example, EU is used to optimize the production and distribution of wind and solar power. It uses machine learning algorithms for predicting how this wind is going to be generated, how the weather conditions are going to apply to that. So these are the examples of energy use and optimization in Europe. Countries like India, I think you guys know it, that there's a lot of technology going on in India on the how the electrical engineering is being used. And India is ranked number 4 in wind power and number 5 in solar production. And the country has seen the fastest growth in renewable energies, and obviously that's enhanced by the power of artificial intelligence. So my favorite topic is AI in agriculture. And we're talking here especially about countries that are, less industrialized. So a part of European countries where agriculture is obviously being a very important factor, which is heavily subsidized by the governments. But in the countries in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, agriculture and use of AI in agriculture is helping to increase crops, to help make better use of the land, and to help it, be less depleted, because AI technologies can help to monitor the soil quality. We have some examples where artificial intelligence is monitoring soil quality, that can also predict the crop health, for example, by monitoring which bugs or which what can damage the crops. AI technologies also help to distribute the chemicals and the you know, to feed to help grow the crops in a very efficient way, in a way that you only grow the, you know, the rice and the wheat and the corn, and you do not and the weeds are eliminated by precision farming. Okay, so there are some examples of the project that I would like to bring up. For example, in Argentina, there is examples of precision farming and crop yields management, productivity in soybean and livestock, sustainable practices in improving fertilizer use efficiency. In Brazil, there are they use artificial intelligence in coffee plantations to increase the yield of the coffee crops. A lot of drone technologies are used around the world, especially you know, in countries with poor infrastructure for agriculture, where you cannot, you know, like access remote areas. In countries in Africa and Asia, you have many technologies that support small farmers rather than industrial farmers. And I think it's so important because small farmer production in Asian and African regions account for up to 2/3 of food security that's been put on the market. So supporting this aspect of food production and of farmers, small farmers, is very important, not only for them to be feeding themselves, but also for the sustainable development of the population. Okay, so yeah, some of the other examples of how agriculture is being nurtured through AI are I'm just checking my notes. Yeah, so some of the other example is sustainable resource management. So it's also warehousing, it's also supply chain, it's also transportation of the agricultural production that comes to the consumer. Okay, and from supply chain we go to smart cities and to smart urban efficiency. So urban efficiency, again, it's technologies that help to optimize the distribution of traffic, to see how the traffic light timings, rerouting possibilities, vehicles management, and public transportation are being managed around the world. Many of those technologies are used in and again, back in Europe, in UAE. UAE is implementing many of the even you know, like driverless taxis and soon to be drone-based transportation systems that hopefully increase livability and ability to be comfortable in the cities around the world. Yeah, so we are seeing cities like Amsterdam, Barcelona that implement on the city level already some of the technologies and some of the, you know, like smart identification systems, smart reading meters for parking and for possibilities to optimize city traffic and distribution of energy around the cities. Okay, I would like to go back to the use cases of environmental impact that AI can bring to analyzing environmental data and better decision making. So in every area, be it smart cities, be it agriculture, be it supply chain, be it energy optimization, energy production. Data analysis is what makes AI so useful in all these aspects. So you can arrange the data, study the data, predict it, use it for better decision making. And when decision making becomes so complex because we have so many different parameters, data banks can help on that. Some of the aspects that I have to mention on, you know, how AI is being, you know, it adds in many aspects to sustainability, but we have to remember that there are also challenges with AI, and AI itself is, because it involves so much technology and it involves so much data, that the impact that it you know, gives on the CO2 emissions is not quite negligible. So it accounts for about 7% of our worldwide CO2 production, which is almost as high as that of the aviation industry. You have to imagine, because for example, if you are using, even, you know, we all use ChatGPT, so it uses about 500 billion of data points, and this data has to be you know, stored and processed in some way, and that's this computational power that AI also brings to contributes to the CO2 emissions. Luckily, there are also projects that help to come up with technologies also for artificial intelligence that are more environmentally friendly. And I would like to mention the project that's being done in the UAE in the Center for Artificial Intelligence. This has been Zayed, what's it called? This is, just give me a second. This is Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, and they are creating a operating system. It's called AI operating system, that has the goal of this project is to decrease the size of the models and to decrease the emissions that are coming from artificial intelligence. All right. Some of other challenges that we have with artificial intelligence is, again, I have mentioned already that in some areas, the infrastructure, the technological infrastructure does not allow for universal application of these technologies. And the fact that some countries have larger and better access to artificial intelligence technologies can lead to the gap, to the larger gap between possibilities that you have in application of those technologies in different regions. What's very important is to mention the how human enhanced technology in this way and what kind of talent development is playing, which role it is playing in development and application of artificial intelligence also for sustainability. And if we look at how the population, the world population is developing, we see that especially African countries are still almost the only region in the world that has growing population, and it has about the growth of population in African countries will account to the most of the growth of population around the world, and empowering African countries, Indian countries. Indian countries have already caught up on technological savvy and education. But if we can find ways to empower youth in African countries, that would help to alleviate the differences that we are having today in possibilities of application. And I have to say that there are many projects that are taking place in African countries now. So for example, in Kenya, the artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science analytics, cloud computing, cybersecurity are among the quickest growing professions, and these professions account for the most needed professions in the next 10-20 years. Okay, I would like to highlight the Nigerian, for example, tech scene that's characterized by strong presence of technical startups and especially drone technologies that are being developed there. Luckily, or also one aspect that is worth mentioning, that many large international technology companies like Google and OpenAI collaborate with African countries to help them develop technologies for local application. Again, we were talking about the ethical issues, where is the data ownership, and how can this data ownership impact the possibility of countries like, for example, in Africa, to develop effectively, efficiently, and in sustainable way. Yeah, if we are talking again about Asian countries, technology is already at a high level, and we see it how the technological sector and how the artificial intelligence is being leveraged through this region. There are some of examples of very interesting and very important projects around the Asian countries. We have many, of course, we have many AI-powered technologies coming from China. For example, in renewable energy sector, they have tools for scheduling tools, machine learning algorithms, and all kind of monitoring technologies. In India, renewable sector, maybe you guys know, RenNew Power is using artificial intelligence and machine learning to optimize performance of solar plants and solar production technologies. I would like to mention some of the examples of Latin American projects. Again, also in Latin America, development of knowledge and empowering local population is very, very important. Many of the projects there that are connected to the agricultural sector because of how much Latin America is contributing to the world food security. What else can I tell you about AI and environmental impact?
Natalia, just to, sorry to interrupt, I probably on the same grounds, I just had a question.
Yes, please.
So what is your take on, like, we talk a lot about AI emissions as well, right? Even though
Yeah.
we are using AI for environmental monitoring, so how do you outweigh it? How do you compare both? And what
AI emission assessment.
Sorry?
The question is about AI emission assessment.
Yes.
Yes,
AI
yes. So
emissions, yeah.
yeah. So AI emissions, as I'm saying, like these models have very high computational power. Because of this very high computational power, the CO2 emissions from the servers, from like the data transmission back and forth is very high. Even if you take, like technology like blockchain, because it's very secure, it's very safe, but the computational power that it brings is very high. So higher if you take the entire aviation industry, so all the like cargo flights and passenger flights and emissions from aviation sector. AI technology emits almost as much, right? So it's not negligible. It comes at a cost. All these technologies that we are using, somehow it has to be produced, and these servers, those of you guys who work in technology sector, that it emits a lot of, it takes a lot of heat, it emits a lot of CO2 into the environment, and many, if we take the electricity, if we find a way to use only sustainably derived electricity, that would largely decrease the impact of emissions from AI, but unfortunately it's still not the case. So they are working on solutions like, like green hydrogen to power the electricity for the tech sector. But in many regions, it's still not the case. Yeah, especially because it's not really known, like we don't talk a lot about this aspect of AI, that it also comes at cost.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have been talking about the Middle East. So Middle East, sustainability in the Middle East is very interesting because it's very technologically advanced, right? So if we are talking about other regions of the world, like African countries, like even Asian countries, like Latin American countries, where you're talking about increased food security, about energy efficiencies, about using more green energy, then in the Middle East, everything goes through science and technology. So they like to experiment here with new technologies. They like to experiment here, especially, like with these technologies for city mobility, for cooling, for more efficiency in the energy in the buildings, for more energy efficiency in the buildings. And they have many of the smart building systems. Maybe there is this first sustainable city, which is Masdar city in the UAE, that's as built as a sustainable city. So UAE is putting its emphasis on, rather than less consumption, making consumption more sustainable through developing technologies, through finding ways to derive also from sustainable energy sources. But the most important impact here is through science. So again, we are going to Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, that run many different projects. UAE has hosted COP28 last year, and they have committed to carbon neutrality by 2050. What does it mean? We will see. But again, there are great ambitions on generating environmental sustainability, and the government has pledged $500 billion US in initiatives and in transfer fund to to finance these initiatives. Okay, I have talked a lot about sustainability in Africa, so if there are guys any questions, we can stop on that. Otherwise, I will continue. Yeah, in Asia, maybe you guys can also come up with some examples where you see the technological innovation and IT, AI applications are most impactful in the Asian countries, and especially in India, right? So the natural aspects is efficiency improvements, is renewable energies, we have talked about it, and technological integration, development of AI technologies on per se. What I would like us, you know, like all this presentation and our article that we have written, we had done a lot of research about how we can make the world a sustainable place, and I do support the point that without governments and without large sector, you know, like industrial transformations, it's very difficult. So we have in Europe, we have a lot of regulation around AI, like AI sustainability or AI, how's it called? AI Protection Act that regulates how the, you know, the ethical use of AI and data protection regulations of AI. But it's, you know, us as project managers, we do not really have the hand in policy making, in governmental regulations, and also for if you're talking about large corporates and large industries, you know, like the energetic industry, the plastic production, the industrial, you know, agriculture, industrial fishing, the forest, maybe deforestation, forest depletion. We as project managers do not have any much hand on that. So what can we as project managers do? We still can do quite a lot. And we can, for example, support community projects, right? So bringing this education that we were saying, it's so important to empower local communities through education and to help them to start smaller projects in entrepreneurship, in different drone development, or in applications that you can use from your mobile phone locally, and to help them be sustainable, not only in terms of energy efficiency or CO2 emissions, but also sustainably in terms of their economies, right? Yeah, this I think one of the most important challenges is that AI technologies are understood and accessible everywhere in the world, and you know, the hurdle to enter that is now lower than any time before. It is accessible. Thanks to internet, many rural, remote areas can, you know, can have access to the tools, can have access to knowledge, to education, and that's only up to our imagination, creativity, and entrepreneurship, how we can use them and how we can apply them. Okay. Yeah, so at the end, how can, you know, how sustainability, which role does sustainability play in or which role artificial intelligence can play in sustainability? I think it can play absolutely crucial role. But again, it's about, you know, AI can only support what humans put their intention and their own personal energy to. And by itself, AI is not going to solve anything. It can even exacerbate problems, right? So if not used ethically, or if used only in the interest of certain groups or certain regions or certain industries that have potential interests of, I don't know, you know, like it's still profit maximization, goes does not always go together with sustainability, right? Collaborative effort through education, through empowering people in rural areas, in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, in Latin America. Collaborative projects like what we are doing here right now, what we have done in with the Women Power Up Network, to promote ethical use of artificial intelligence and to create projects that can move the needle for the local communities. I think that's the conclusion, and that's the message that I would like to give you guys today, and to hope that we can, you know, each and every one of us in their small contributions can make the world a little bit a better place.
Thank you, Natalia. We have some time for questions if the participants want to ask a few questions. Yeah.
Hi, Natalia. This is Joji.
Hi.
People are facing shortage in labor in agriculture field. Many people are facing shortage in labor resources. How this AI help in addressing that labor shortage in agriculture field?
So there, you know, like different aspects in labor shortage. If the more you can create technologies that can help to work on the field, or identify the diseases of the crop early on, or spray the fertilizers in a more efficient way, or, you know, identify weeds through technology, through drones, the less labor as person, you know, like people working on the field you would need there. But again, you know, it is important that people who might be losing their jobs due to AI still can benefit from the advancement in technologies, because this is, I think, is something that if we do not get right, then we are going to exacerbate the inequality of distribution of wealth, of income, and of opportunities and possibilities, right? So AI should generally decrease the reliance on labor on field, right? That's what we see. The backside of this medal is that people who lose their jobs still have to sustain their livelihood. And hopefully, yeah, the advances in technology can help them benefit from that as well.
Thank you.
Due to shortage of time, maybe we can take one more question if there are questions.
I think there is one question in the chat.
Okay, on.
What kind of power tools should use to overcome AI sustainability challenges? What do you mean by power tools? Like power in terms of energy, or power in terms of, if you could, what is your take on? Okay, yeah. So what kind of power tools that should use to overcome AI sustainability challenge? Are you talking power tools about governments and governmental influence and governmental role in ensuring the fair use of technology and resources? Is that what you mean? Yeah. So of course, as I'm saying, you know, I think that this is the only way for the world to become a more sustainable place, is that governments, you know, make commitments. We see that I was mentioning that UAE government has pledged 500 billion US dollars to sustainability initiatives and to sustainability research and to empowering sustainability through technologies. Yeah, there are many regions in the world that, you know, that are, I mean, these questions are very difficult because, again, you know, like if you go back to profit maximization, and that's where big business is still lying, and livelihood maximization, that's where, you know, the government should have their attention and their you know, have them on their agenda. It's not always that easy because we have different kind of governments. We have governments who are elected in European countries, are only elected for a certain period of time. So it's very difficult for them to involve all those vested interests, you know, of ensuring the comfort of own people, decreasing the impact of you know, fossil fuels and so on one hand side, and on the other hand side, financing the transition. You know, like governments cannot finance transition by printing money. It has to come from the economy, right? So I wish it were that easy, that governments would just all, you know, get together and implement regulations that help us to use technology in a way to benefit the entire world population. But unfortunately, it's not the case. And yeah, it's also, you know, we hear a lot about the point of view that European countries have it easier on the environmental scale because the basic needs of their population are taken care of, right? So people have shelter over their heads, and they have access to education, and they have access to basic needs, which is not everywhere, is not the case in some countries in developing regions of the world. So how do we go about that with, you know, not having access to sustainable technologies and still need to provide for the people? So yeah, there are no easy answers to that.
Thank you, Natalia. I think if there are more questions, you can maybe reach out to Natalia after the session. So I'd like to take this time to thank Ms. Natalia Wiedemeyer for taking time off. We had a very interesting and educational session where you started with the different aspects of AI, covering the possibilities opened by AI in precision agriculture, energy sector, in urban, increasing efficiency of transportation. You also put the global context of where AI is going in Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia. But then you also gave us the balanced view of the pitfalls and the double-edged sword AI is, the issues of ethical aspects, data sharing, and the energy aspects, how sustainability of AI becomes also important. So thank you very much for taking time off and sharing your insights with us. I think it will help us all put the whole thing in context and learn more about it. I also request Ms. Sindhya to share the article which you and Natalia had put together on the Women Power Up Network, so that we can also see. So now I hand over to Ms. Sindhya for a quick twist on AI and also to give updates on the RACE 2024, the upcoming meetings of RACE 2020. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Prakash. Just to correct, I was not a contributor for the article. There were a set of women leaders who contributed. I was just a moderator of the panel discussion. The article link is in the chat for everyone to have a look. Yeah. So regarding the quiz, I have put a link in the chat, as well as I will be sharing my screen. So you can let me know once it is visible. So as you all know, while we were sending out the poster for this particular session, we mentioned that you have a chance to win prizes as well. So this is one chance for that. So it's just a short quiz, just 5 questions, and it is around recent statistics that have come out related to the theme today. So I request each one of you to join, and I would request you to put in your exact names itself so that we can identify the leaders. So we'll give maybe a minute or two for everyone to be in. And probably meanwhile, I'll just thank Natalia for accepting our invite and taking us through your insights. The link and code is in the chat as well as shared in the screen. Thirty seconds and we start the quiz. Okay. So let's go to our first question. Based on International Energy Agency, AI is expected to contribute a % reduction in global greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%. Take your guess. Okay, I see only 17 has responded. Okay, we have responses across the options. Let's see what's the answer. It is 15%, and we have 26% of the participants who answered it correctly. Over to the second question. Based on World Economic Forum, AI-driven precision agriculture could increase global food production by, Natalia was talking about precision agriculture, so some numbers are that.
30. I don't know.
No, Natalia, that's cheating. Don't say that.
I don't know.
Let's see. Okay, majority of them said 30, but it is 25%. Sorry for that. Okay, according to Ellen MacArthur Foundation, AI-enabled environmental monitoring systems are projected to save up to monitoring hours annually by 2030. Again, environmental monitoring systems was one of the topics she was covering. So what is the projected saving? Okay, what's the answer? It is 2.9 billion.
Wow.
Over to the fourth question. Accenture predicts economic benefits of up to by 2030 by adoption of AI in circular economy. Not sure if any Accenture employees are out there.
It depends how they measure it, right?
Yeah. Okay, it's $4 trillion. Now to the last question. According to World Economic Forum, AI-driven air quality monitoring system can help reduce death related to air pollution by up to. Now that's an interesting number. We should all be looking up to. So what's it? Okay, 15%. Okay, so that was our last question, and it's time to see the leaderboard. Okay, so Anoop is leading it with the 3 correct answers, followed by Binu and Anish. Okay, all others, Prakash, Kasturi. Okay, it shows only top 5, but don't worry, we are going to consider the top 10. Okay, we'll have the list. We'll take it from Slido and wait for the prizes that will be reaching your mailbox. Thank you for that. And I will probably move on to the Waves update. I hope you can still see my screen, and that's me. Okay, so just to introduce myself, I hold the VP Education portfolio in PMI Kerala chapter. My name is Cynthia, and I'm also the director of Waves 2024 conference. So those of you who are not aware of the Waves 2024 or have not received the communication about it, this is the annual conference of the chapter, and this is the 14th edition of the conference that we are conducting. So this year it is conducted on 10th August. If you were available during our president's talk, you would have heard that. It is in Hyatt Regency Trivandrum. It's a full day event. And we have some keynote speakers, as you see on the screen, across industries. As you see, they come from the AI background, and that is what we are going to bring in insights from across industries to for you for probably take it further. Apart from these keynote speakers,
Cynthia, we are still seeing the Slido. Join Slido.
I'm sorry. I think the sharing is. Let me just reshare. Okay. Thanks for mentioning that. Just confirm once you can see that.
Yes. Yes. No.
Yes. Now we can see. Thank you.
Sorry for that. Yeah. So you can see the speakers out there. Apart from the keynote speakers sessions, we have an energizer session and also a panel discussion. The panelist information we will be publishing it shortly. So as part of Waves 2024, we have the prestigious PMI Kerala Chapter Awards, recognizing the project management expertise across industries. So if your team or your organization would have nominations, we request you to route it to us, and let's see if how they probably secure an appreciation. Yep. And it would be a wonderful opportunity for networking. So we would want to see each and every one of you over there. So you see a QR code in the screen, and currently the early bird registrations are going on. So you can actually book your seats as early as possible and secure it at the lowest cost possible. If you want any more information about the conference, it would be available in waves2024.pmikerala.org. All this information will be sent to you over a mail. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we definitely we would anticipate your presence in the conference in presence. And these pre-conference knowledge series that we have kickstarted today, it will run throughout June and July month up to our conference. We would be bringing experts to share their viewpoints, and we would want this to be a discussion. It's not kind of a session, but more of a discussion, so that we can probably continue these discussions on the event day. So having said that, I'll hand it over to Prakash for the official closure.
Thank you, Cynthia, for that information on Waves. I think many of us look forward to August and more now. So I thank you all for joining from across the globe today. I thank our keynote speaker, Ms. Natalia, once more for sharing her insights on AI and sustainability. We have overshot by a few minutes. Apologize for that. And to wish you all a good weekend. I think we can display the PDU code for a few minutes. And Cynthia,
yeah, and this is the next session. In case you are looking ahead for it, next week on 22nd, we have the next session as part of this knowledge.
Slide is not moving. If you could just check that.
You're not seeing it?
No, we are still seeing the Waves 2024 slide. Gotcha. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So next week we have
Is it visible now?
Yes. So next week we have Project Financial Success with AI. I think we'll be having it on the next Saturday, 22nd. Yes, at the same time,
But the time would be 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll inform you all in the coming few days over mail as well, so that you can register and join next week. Yeah. With that, maybe we can go on to the PDU code.
Is it visible, Prakash, or?
No, not yet, not yet.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Thank you
You
all.
too, Natalia.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.